and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jamie. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button to stick around because you're my friend now, okay? Don't act like you don't know. And if you ain't know, now you know. Okay, period. Welcome. Let's get into the swing of things. You guys, I just can't get over my hair. This video is not nothing about hair, but I just want to talk about my hair for a second. Never in my life have I actually achieved a silk press and a proper trim and had it last. We're going on like day 3, y'all. When I tell you I sweat in my head usually, like the humidity from the shower usually mess it up. I've been ODing so hard trying to make sure that my hair lasts, and it's lasting, and I'm so excited. Like, my teenager in me is very happy, okay, because this is all I wanted in high school. So in today's video, I know you guys could tell by the title, we're talking about my Ancestry results. Yes, guys. So if you haven't checked out that video, I'll pop it up right here and link it down below. Make sure you check that out. But at the beginning of Vlogmas, at the beginning of December, I did take a DNA kit test from Ancestry. This is not sponsored, by the way. It's the 7th and I got my results back. So you guys know that I am recording on my phone, so I had to write down everything that I needed to say in this video about what I discovered. And I'm also going to put a little screenshot right here on the side to show you, you know, the maps and everything that I'm talking about. So let me move over so I can have space for this, okay? So when I opened my DNA results, I was shocked. I didn't really know what I was expecting, to be honest, but it's kind of interesting to know that, you know, what you're made up of, where your DNA comes from. And I don't know if this is 100% accurate, because you know that if they have to report Native Americans in your ancestry, that means that you are entitled to reparations and all of that. So that's not in my DNA kit, but I know that for a fact that Native American is in my family history. My ethnicity estimate. So I have Cameroon, Congo, and Bantu peoples is 29%. 29%, okay, period. And it's funny, before I continue reading, I did go on Google and search the peoples of these countries just to see if I have like any features that match them and stuff like that, and it's very interesting because I do. And I believe it's the Cameroon, Congo, and Bantu people, or it might be the Cyprus people. I can't remember. I'll put a screenshot of the person that I found, but that's how my eyebrows grow naturally. So I'll put that right there. Nigeria is 28%, so I'm 28% Nigerian. I'm here for that, okay? I'm here for it. I can't wait to travel to Africa and really just see these places for myself and feel, you know, my spirit is calling me to go there. So I just can't wait what I discover when I actually arrive, okay, to my motherland. Okay, so we have Mali is 14%. Now we getting into my slave owners, okay? So England and Northwest Europe is 8%. Now this specifically, this Northwest Europe, it does include a section of France, which confirms something for me. If you guys didn't check out that last video, make sure you do. But I did include a picture of a family crest. I'll put it right here. And the family crest was actually tied to a French family. I said that it was in my ancestry, and I believe it's on my dad's side, my dad's grandmother's, and it just goes up. It's like my 5th, 6th great grandfather or something like that, and they put the family crest. And so that's interesting because I went back on Google to find some more information about this crest once I seen the Northwest Europe part, and they are in fact located in Northwest Europe, the very tip top of France, and that's just crazy to me. So yeah, that was definitely one of my slave owners' families. So I'm laughing, but I'm really pissed off because I really want to go knock on these people's door and tell them to run me my coin, okay? Because me and my family need it, okay? And even if we didn't need it, run me my coin. But anyway, so we have Scotland 6%, Ireland 6%, the Ivory Coast, Ghana 5%, and I'm actually excited. I'm actually planning my first leg of my Africa trip to Ghana first, so this was interesting. I almost kind of hoped that number was higher, but that's okay. So Norway was 2%, Benin and Togo, is it Togo? My brain want to say to go because I be ordering food all the time, but that's not right. So Benin and Togo is 1%, and Cyprus peoples is 1%. So that makes up my 100% DNA ancestry. And honestly, this is so interesting to me because one, it just confirms that I was really on the right track, which I'm going to get to that in a second. But it also confirmed, a slave owner in my family. It's confirming a lot of stuff. So I'm gonna continue. So I hope I'm showing this. I got a screenshot of this as well. But it links your DNA communities. Basically, kind of when your family landed in America is what the map says to me. And so it says I have 3 communities. I'm early Virginia African American, Alabama, Georgia, and South Carolina African Americans, because if you guys don't remember, that whole territory was one at one time. And then South Carolina African Americans. So the early Virginia African Americans is definitely stemming from my dad's side of the tree. A lot of my ancestors' paperwork and census records were located. First, it was, started off in Florida because my dad's side of the family, and my dad is from Florida. But from Florida, it goes from Florida and then it goes to Virginia. So this confirmed, my earlier ancestors, all of their paperwork and census documents as well correlates with this early Virginia. So my dad's ancestors were in a Virginia slave plantation when they arrived here. And don't know how I feel about that. Now, as far as the Alabama, South Carolina, Georgia African Americans, both of those sets can be traced back on my mother's side. My mother's grandmother's family, my mother's mother. Sorry, y'all, it's a lot of mothers and grandmothers. But my grandmother on my mom's side, her ancestors can be traced to Alabama. Still to this day, I still have family members that live in the dark corner of Alabama. They can go to the store in Mississippi and come right back, type of shit. So that's definitely there. And it also linked a few people that I was on the fence about whether or not I should add them to my tree, and it did basically suggest that this is a part of your tree, so go ahead and add them. So that was very interesting. And as well as the South Carolina, that's where they started from, and then they moved to the Alabama, Georgia area where my family is still to this day. So that's so crazy to me, y'all. Like, I just want to take a second to really reflect on what I'm actually saying. Like, I'm actually confirming and tracing back my ancestors, and I'm tracing back to where they struggled the most, where they built this country at, and it gives me a better idea of where they were in the Civil War, where they, I have so many questions. Like, I want to go see these plantations, because you guys know that a lot of these plantations are still standing. People live in them like it's a home. They be like, oh, I have 10 acres of land, and they're on HGTV talking about this shit, but it's really a plantation. I really just want to go see now. Like, it's like I have the confirmation. I want to go pull up and see where my ancestors were. Where did they have their hardest points in their life? Where you know, just, I don't know. I'm very interested. Like, I thought that I would be like, okay, you know, this confirmed everything. And no, I feel like I just opened up a rabbit hole, and I want to go visit all of these places and then take my ass to Africa and see what's popping, okay? Because I'm big on trying to figure out who you are as a person, and I feel like I'm really narrowing on into who I am as a person. But can you really know who you are if you don't know where you come from? Like, if you don't genuinely know your culture and your history and how you specifically came to be, do you ever really know yourself? So I just have those questions. So I'll continue. So now when it says, it has some more other information, some more numbers. So I had 14,762 DNA matches with people. So 14,762 people matched a small portion of my DNA. Okay? That's fucking crazy. So I just want to talk on that for a second, because we converse about how slave owners and plantation workers and things like that used to rape our ancestors. This number is crazy because they really was just, it's just crazy. They really was just really taking advantage of our ancestors, and they're serial rapists. Like, we're serial rapists on top of serial psychopaths. Like, these are all, in some way, shape, or form, they're a DNA match to me. So my slave owner could have had sex with my ancestor and then your ancestor, and somebody was born, and then that person that was born had a baby with this black person, and that's how the DNA keeps going. You get what I'm saying? So, like, how many children was born via rape during this time? Because this number is so huge. Like, I don't know. Now, 238 people match me in the community location, meaning that they match me in the Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, and Virginia aspects. So again, 238 people, their ancestors was on a slave plantation with my ancestors. Are y'all understanding how we get into this conversation? Like, I can visibly see on this website, I can scroll, I have their information, not their personal information, but I have their names. 238 people, their ancestors and my ancestors were on plantations at some point. And they intermingle. One cousin might have had a child with this cousin, and it's very light DNA, but we're still connected. 238 people today are connected to me because our ancestors were on the same plantation. Like, that's fucking crazy to me. Like, oh my God. So I did break it down for the number for the 238. So I had I had a lot of discoveries of cousins, basically, because these 238 people is coming up as my cousins. So I got 238 cousins that I ain't even met before. And I'm just saying that we need to have a family reunion, because I know the food gonna be slapping, the music gonna be going, and it's gonna be lit. So, like, y'all should pull up. Now, so for the numbers to break down, so I did match with 2 of my first or second cousins, and these 2 people are on my mom's dad's side, and I kind of touched on that in the first video as well. My mom's dad passed away in the 80s, so I did not meet him, and it's just, I didn't meet his family. I don't really know his family, and my mom didn't really talk about him. You know, she talked about, you know, that she got her loudness from him, and you know, her loud laugh, and you know, her hustle mentality, and you know, her real nigga mode, basically, from her dad. But she really didn't talk about him, because I could tell that his death really hurt her deeply. So I don't have much information, but I'm excited because I found 2 of my first cousins. And that's a start to, begin to ask questions about who my grandpa is and, what his life was like. And, I just want to know that information. So I have matched with 13 second or third cousins. Now, these is mainly on my mom's side for the second and third cousins. My great grandmother, my mom's mom, had 7 kids. My great grandmother had 11 siblings. So these are all people that are just on Ancestry. You guys keep that in mind. Everybody does not have an Ancestry, have not done this, so keep this in mind. But 13 people are my cousins that I found from, my great grandmother's siblings, their families, their children, and it's just mind-boggling. It's just mind-boggling to me because I do not know my family. Like, this is so many people that I don't know. Like, some of them have their pictures up on the site. If you join Ancestry, you know that you can add your picture when you're building your tree and all that type of stuff. A lot of people have their pictures on there, and I have cousins that favor my brothers, and I favor some of my cousins, and it's just like crazy to me. Like, why don't I know my family? Like, I'm single, I'm not married, and I don't have no kids. What if I just be out here and I meet and fall in love with my cousin, we get married, and we at the wedding, and they be like, that's your cousin, right? Like, what we gonna do? We need to fix this. So I have got 5 third or fourth cousins. These are people, that are twice removed or was married into the family, had a baby, and then the rest of that 238 are all like 4th and 6th cousins. So again, it goes back into that small percentage of a DNA tie from our ancestors all being on a slave plantation. The rest of them basically share DNA with our slave owners, and that's how we're connected. No real tie. It could be a great, like 5th grade grandparents, husband or wife or something like that, but for the most part it's very removed, just like a small tie. So I contributed to slave owners' DNA spawns. Okay. That's fucking crazy, you guys. Like, I'm just excited to continue on this journey. I want to begin to reach out to people, but I'm really nervous because mainly my mom's dad's people, because like I said, I don't know them at all, and a lot of them do still live here in Cleveland or in Akron, and I'm excited, but I'm also like a little hurt because it's like, you guys really existed, and I don't know if they knew about me and my brothers, but it would have been nice to have them in our life growing up, to have more cousins, more uncles, because I really am just close with my grandmother's siblings, and all their kids, so that half of the cousins. But like my mom's dad's side, I don't know anybody on that side of the family, so it's just amazing, like the relationships that I could have had growing up, aunties and uncles that I could have had growing up, and it's like, do I be upset or did they not know? And it's like, these are questions I can't ask my mom because you guys know my mom passed away in 2018, so I can't ask her like why you never brought us around, or I can't ask my grandma like why you kept us away from grandpa family, you know what I'm saying? But I also don't want to like stir the pot. Okay, I try not to be the child that stirs the pot, but all of this information right here, I can't help it. I have to stir the pot. So you guys have to stay tuned and figure out what it is that I find out, because I'm about to be interviewing everybody and my grandma and their siblings and everybody else who might know, might have records, might anything. But I think the first step that I really want to start with is my grandfather, which means I'm going to have a conversation with my grandmother. And that's a little tricky because me and my grandma are trying to get close. We're trying to cultivate our own relationship. She was closer with my mom. They kicked it a lot, and since my mom passed, initially I felt like she would just think that I would just jump into my mom's spot and, you know, fill that void of just, you know, answering the phone, listening to the family gossip, hanging out, going to restaurants, stuff like that, when before we would never do that, because, you know, that's a whole nother story. I have to get into why I'm not really close with my family and why I would like to be. Maybe that could be in an update video because these conversations are definitely going to bring us a lot closer, or they're going to make us hate us more. We don't know. Find out on next episode of Jamie's Life. Oh, my mind is boggled. So yeah, I just wanted to come on and share my DNA results, and I promise to keep you guys updated on my interviews and things I might find out later on. So make sure you give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button so that you can stay tuned for when I drop that video, because I'm telling you, I feel like it's the tip of the iceberg and shit is about to get real juicy. Like juicy. This might even be like a series, like just a series. It might turn into a movie one day. Like, that's how I feel about it, because my family is very interesting and we're very big, but it's a lot of secretiveness. Like, a lot of people are very secretive about things that happen, trauma, everything like that. And I just realized now, you guys, it's just time to start asking questions. So I encourage you guys out there, just start asking your parents questions. Like, hey, what was it like during this time? Like, my dad was born in 1950, so I was able to ask him a little bit about, you know, segregation and, you know, how was the school system when he began school. And he talked to me about his dad being a part of the Huff riots here in Cleveland, and just, you know, was very Malcolm X militant. So start asking questions so that you can know, so you can have that information, so that you can pass it on down to your children, so they can know and begin to really develop their story about where they come from, the people that they come from, the power that we hold. It's amazing. It's amazing. I come from activists, Freemasons, Eastern Stars. Like, I have been discovering so much, but I only know this information from my dad's side. My mom's side, we about to lift the veil. So I will make sure I keep y'all tuned in on the juice, because I know it's gonna be juicy. We gonna be on Jerry Springer. Oh shit. But yeah. Alright, so I love you guys. I will check you guys out in the next video. Again, like I said, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button so that you can stick around for the next one. I love you.